All right, guys. So I'm here with Brandon. Uh, how long? I've been training him off and on for what, about 2, 3 years now?
Yeah, I think it's been about 3 years, maybe a little more.
Yeah, because we started when you were in Hawaii and you wanted to do a contest, and you came to me and we got you ready for the contest. And then when you moved away, we've just kind of kept putting size on you and stuff. So whenever you decide to get a contest again, we'll be with weeks within being ready.
Yeah.
So what made you want to start getting into, because you did the physique division the first, what made you want to get into because the competing, because I'd always seen you in the gym before you decided to hire me to help you with a contest. So what was it that kind of pushed you to the point of trying to do a contest?
Well, um, besides going to the gym that we were going to, Powerhouse has all those competitors and everything there. Seeing all that and just being around it all more kind of pushed me there. And I noticed my confidence wasn't really where it was as far as my physique. And I had this idea in my head that if I could maybe try to do a competition and you know go forward with that it might actually help out with that, especially you know that helped with my army career as well while I was in.
Well, yeah, because I mean, when you get up there on stage, no matter if you're just wearing board shorts or the fucking posing trunks, like it's still, you kind of have to step past this threshold of being a lot more comfortable than you're used to when you go up there.
Hey,
So
yeah,
it does. It
yeah, I
does.
mean,
It does build the confidence up, definitely, just by going out there and doing that. Not to mention the process of getting there.
yeah, I mean, stepping out on stage in front of, I think there had to be over 100 people there that day whenever I went out on stage, and stepping out in front of that many people that I have never met in my life. I mean, all by myself, that was a huge thing.
Yeah, and that was actually one of the smaller shows. The bigger ones have more people.
Like thousands.
Yeah, they now
Yeah.
what you said about being in the gym, it shows that when you're in a positive community like that, where everybody's kind of doing the same shit, the positive stuff like that, it does influence you in a good way because, usually what I preach a lot about the negative influence and how you have to defeat that because you're around people that want you to do things or want to do things that may not be towards your goal. And
Oh
over
yeah.
time, you have to kind of learn to not mean, but you start learning that you get separated from the people that aren't on the same wavelength as you, and then people think they're going to be alone. But what they find out is they start gravitating towards other people that are like them, and they actually end up being in an environment that they need to be in to get their goals. So when you come to Powerhouse and you saw all that stuff and you were around that atmosphere, it gave you a positive influence because when you worry about the dieting and all that stuff, like, oh, I'm the only person doing this, I'm not going to hang out. Everybody's doing it. So
Yeah.
it makes it easier to stick to the plan and to get to the goal.
Yeah, definitely. And that's just like, moving here to North Carolina. As soon as I got here, the first thing I did was try to find a gym that was gonna fit my goals and that had other people in it that were doing the same type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I've definitely found that here, and it's kept me going.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I built the Hodge Society was so we can get people from all over in the same community
Oh yeah.
so that because it helps each other. You guys are pushing each other, and that's one thing that makes it easier to stick with it.
Yeah, I mean the Facebook pages you created, the Instagram pages, and just being one on one with you every single day, even 3,000 miles away or whatever it is. That's definitely kept me going as well.
Yeah, now going past the contest, and now you move back home, and you're out of the Army now. You have to start looking for a career and stuff. So what things did you learn during the discipline and the drive and stuff? Because I remember, like, when we first started prepping, there was stuff you weren't used to doing that you kind of had to make yourself do. But as you did it, you started seeing the results from it. So what outside the gym did you take that experience and apply it to so that you could prosper outside of the gym?
I mean, I can't even begin to fathom the thought of how much I learned during not only the contest prep, but during the whole entire fitness journey that you and I have been on. And I've taken all that, the discipline from it, the thought of, oh, I've never done that before. That's kind of scary. And now after doing a contest prep and everything else, I don't really have those feelings anymore. Like, I mean, I'm a full-time mechanic for General Motors now, and I never worked on cars a day in my life. So when I got that job, I was like, I can do this. If I did a contest prep, I can do this. And I've got a new career coming up as well that I've never really dabbled in before, and that's a modeling career that I've got offered.
So, like, just going through the process of changing and seeing how your physique is growing, and people that watch this, they've seen your photos, so I haven't posted up and stuff. Like, just getting the physique alone is giving you more opportunity, but people people don't realize, like, the skill set that you get learning how to be disciplined and learning how to be a product of your lifestyle, you can apply outside of here, just like you mentioned, and pretty much get whatever you want if you go towards it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the skills from my fitness journey that I've been on have definitely applied throughout life, especially the past couple of years. I mean, it opens up doors for me, if anything. I mean, not only with how I look with my physique that we have attained, but the knowledge that I've gained from it. People constantly come to me about everything, and that alone opens up more doors.
Now, before you came to me, you had a hard time gaining weight, right?
Extremely.
So how did that affect you? Because I remember seeing some older pictures, man. Like, you were really skinny at one point.
Oh yeah, I mean that affected me in a huge amount because growing up, I always got picked on about how small I was being, and whenever I started gaining weight with you, my family, my friends, everybody was like, "Dude, I never thought you would look like this. I never thought you'd be this big of a person," and that makes me feel extremely great because that was a huge mountain for me to overcome growing up as a kid, and even until whenever I was an adult in the Army. I mean, when I entered the Army, I was like 120 pounds. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah.
And you're pushing now. We're trying to get you. We got you in the 160s. Now we're trying to hit for the 170s.
Yeah, we're pushing for 170s, and
yeah,
get there pretty soon.
And you never got fat the whole time either, because
no,
you keep communicating. We keep everything on point, so that's really good.
Definitely, I definitely say we've been extremely successful as far as leaning and bulking and staying lean at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally weeks within a contest if you ever wanted to do one.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So so that's good. That's one thing I wanted to touch, because I know that from the start of the prep to the end, you learned a lot of stuff that you were able to not only use in the gym, but take out and apply and make the whole overall quality of life improve, which you've done. I mean, it wasn't long after you got home that you already got a job and everything like that. And like you said, it was in something you hadn't done before, but you're still doing it. You're still working all the time, so you must be doing good because you went after it and you weren't scared. You crossed those thresholds, those barriers where people turn around and come back with a story of how they failed. You pushed through it. And that's stuff, and it sounds cheesy, but it's true. That's stuff you can learn when you go into a gym and you learn how to push yourself past those mental barriers in the gym.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. I mean, that's like, for example, our leg days, the leg days that you come up with. I mean, for me personally, those are the hardest days of the week. And I think that's for anybody anytime you're going to do a leg day, for example, you got this threshold that you have to push to get through. And I mean, I take that and I can apply that to life as well. I learn new stuff every day, especially like, for example, working on cars and everything. I mean, there's shit that I've never done a day in my life and I have no idea how to do. And it's going to take a lot of learning, but I'm like, I know how to push that because I've trained my mind and I've trained my body and my brain and my thought process to push through things. So that's definitely life.
And there's always something better on the other side if you suck it up and push through it, right?
Yeah, there is. Positive result.
Yeah, always. The only time you get negative is when you say screw it and you quit and you go back home. So, Brandon, I appreciate your time, man. Sorry, go ahead.
Even whenever you do push through things and you do fail, that's like going for a PR, a personal record, and failing at it, and then you push through and try it again, and you don't just say fuck it and give up. You get a huge, feeling of gratitude and satisfaction at the end, and that's the same thing with pushing through things in life.
Yeah, and if you fail, you just sit back and you examine the situation and be like, okay, well, this process didn't work, so let me reassess what's going on and try something different, and eventually you find the answer where the people that went through before you never found an answer. They just know the one thing that didn't work.
Yeah, they don't try the thing that does, but when you try the thing that does, it pays off.
Yeah, it's worth all the times to fail when you finally succeed.
It is.
Yeah. Well, Brandon, I hope we keep trying to push through it and have you break more boundaries that you haven't reached before, because that's what we've been doing the whole time. I appreciate your time and everything. And you guys, Brandon's also in the VIP group in the Hodge Society, so he's been with me for a while. So when you guys have issues or get stuck, he can answer your questions as well. So, Brandon,
Definitely.
appreciate it, man. Thanks for stopping your workout to come talk to me. Go ahead and go finish, and I'll talk to you soon.
I gotta finish breaking my legs, man. All right.
All right. Take it easy, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.